Welcome back to Talk Tickers. Tesla stock, man, it popped 11% going into this earnings call on October 23rd.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
we're about to dive into some juicy details here.
Absolutely.
You sent us the Q3 2024 update
Uh-huh.
and the transcript from the earnings call.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there's a lot to unpack.
There's always a ton of excitement around Tesla earnings,
Right.
but that stock jump definitely suggests some serious anticipation for this one.
Let's start with the headline news. Tesla had a stellar Q3.
I did.
Record deliveries, record operating income.
Mm-hmm.
They're making money hand over fist, even while other EV companies are struggling.
It's really remarkable, and it comes down to their laser focus on making EVs more affordable.
Yeah.
Think about it. They hit a record low cost of goods sold per vehicle this quarter.
Okay.
Just $35,100.
Okay, but $35,100 is that good?
Yeah.
Put that into context for me.
It's incredibly good.
And for our listener.
Especially when you consider the overall market. Other EV makers are struggling to even turn a profit, let alone hit those kinds of production costs.
Wow.
Tesla's efficiency is off the charts. And it's not just the vehicles themselves.
Oh.
Their energy business, with things like solar panels and Powerwalls, also saw record gross margins.
Gotcha.
They're firing on all cylinders.
And literally building those cylinders at a breakneck pace, too.
Oh, for sure.
They hit some major production milestones this quarter.
Yeah.
Their 7 millionth vehicle overall.
Right.
Their 3 millionth vehicle in Shanghai.
Huge.
And their 100 millionth 14680 battery cell.
Which is...
Remember, that's their new, more efficient battery cell designed to bring costs down even further.
And don't forget, they also highlighted the Shanghai factory exporting its 1 millionth vehicle in September.
Wow.
That's a clear sign of their global ambitions.
For sure.
They're not just dominating the U.S. market anymore.
Right.
They're a force to be reckoned with worldwide.
So they're clearly killing it right now, but what about the future? Tesla is always looking ahead.
Always.
And this time is no different.
Mm-hmm.
They're predicting slight delivery growth for the rest of 2024.
Okay.
But then they're expecting things to really take off.
Right.
You're talking about 20 to 30% growth next year. And that all comes down to two things: autonomy and new products.
They're essentially saying the Model 3 and Model Y are great.
Yeah.
But that's just the beginning.
Yeah.
The real game changer is what's coming next.
Yeah.
And they're not shy about their vision.
No.
Remember that analogy Elon Musk used comparing driving gas cars in the age of autonomy to riding horses today?
Yeah. A bold statement for sure. So let's talk about those new products.
Okay.
What are we looking at here?
Well, they unveiled two very interesting vehicles, the Cybercab and the RoboVin.
Okay.
These are purpose-built for autonomy, meaning they're designed from the ground up to be self-driving.
Wow.
And get this, they're based on a next-generation platform that boasts an incredible 5.5 miles per kilowatt-hour efficiency.
Wow. Their most efficient powertrain yet.
Yeah.
But they haven't forgotten about their other big projects either.
Nope.
The Cybertruck, remember, that's their futuristic pickup truck,
Yeah.
finally hit positive gross margin for the first time this quarter.
Right.
And preparations for the semi-factory, where they'll be building those electric semi-trucks, are right on schedule.
It seems like they've got a lot on their plate,
Yeah,
but they seem confident in their ability to deliver.
they do.
They're aiming to increase production capacity to almost 3 million vehicles by the end of 2024.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You don't project 20, 30% growth unless you can actually build that many cars.
Exactly.
But it's not just about production numbers.
Right.
It's about those game changers, autonomy and those new products.
Yeah.
What about their progress on full self-driving?
Well, they made a pretty bold claim. They believe their full self-driving system will be safer than human drivers by Q2 of next year, based on their internal estimates.
Whoa, that's a huge statement. Are they really that confident in their tech?
That's what they're saying.
Wow.
And if their internal testing supports that, it would be a massive step forward.
For sure.
Remember, their goal is to roll out a ride-hailing service using FSD in California and Texas next year.
Yeah.
Imagine your Tesla driving itself, picking up passengers, and making you money while you're not even using it.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does.
But if anyone can pull it off,
Yeah.
it might just be Tesla.
Right.
But let's not forget, all of this is happening against a backdrop of increasing scrutiny.
Oh, yeah.
Elon Musk's actions, the delays on certain products, the pressure to deliver on those ambitious promises, investors are watching very closely.
That's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
We've got the official reports and projections.
Right.
But the earnings call gives us a glimpse into what's on investors' minds.
Mm-hmm.
What are they most concerned about?
Exactly.
What do they see as the real opportunities and challenges ahead?
Let's shift gears and dive into those investor questions.
Let's do it.
That's where we'll really get a sense of the vibe check on Tesla's future.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into the earnings call Q&A. This is where we really get to hear what's on investors' minds.
You know, I love a good Q&A. What were some of the big themes that jumped out at you? What were investors laser focused on?
Well, one theme that kept coming up was Elon Musk himself.
Yeah.
There were a lot of questions about the impact of his public persona, his political affiliations, all the things that keep him trending on Twitter.
Right.
And how all of that might be affecting Tesla's brand.
Yeah, there were some pretty direct questions about that weren't there. Like, one investor flat out asked if the board was considering stepping in to prevent Elon's views from negatively impacting the company.
Yeah, it's a valid question. Think about it from an investor's perspective. You've poured money into this company, and its CEO is constantly making headlines, not always for the right reasons. It makes you wonder, is this good for business? Is this going to alienate customers? Is this a risk to my investment?
It's one thing to have strong opinions, but when you're the face of a global brand, there's a lot more at stake. Did Tesla address those concerns?
They acknowledged the concerns, but didn't really offer any concrete solutions. It's a tricky situation for sure.
Right.
But Elon's tweets weren't the only thing investors were worried about.
What else?
Service center wait times came up again and again.
Ah, the never-ending saga of Tesla service. It seems like everyone has a story about waiting weeks or even months for repairs.
Right, and those frustrations are clearly spilling over to investors. Tesla talked about their efforts to improve service and shift towards more preventative solutions.
Okay.
But investors are looking for tangible results, not just promises.
And they want those results fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about inconvenience, it's about the bottom line.
Yeah.
If people are waiting months for repairs,
right,
that's lost revenue and potential damage to Tesla's reputation.
Exactly. And there was this one anecdote that really brought it home for me. An investor was talking about waiting for Cybertruck wheel caps.
Oh, wow.
Of all things, and not even knowing if they'd be available at their service appointment.
Can you imagine waiting months for your brand new Cybertruck, only to find out you might not even get the wheel caps?
I know.
It just highlights the frustration people are feeling.
It definitely makes those delays feel a lot more real, a lot more tangible. And it speaks to a broader trend we're seeing with Tesla. For a long time, they were seen as this revolutionary tech-focused company, almost immune to the normal rules of business. But now, as the EV market matures and competition heats up, investors are starting to view them as a more mature company that needs to show concrete financial return.
So less about the hype, more about the bottom line. Show me the money, basically.
That's exactly it. Investors are getting impatient. They're not just buying into the vision anymore. They want to see the payoff. And that brings us to another big topic. FSD timelines, stock buybacks, dividends, all the things that signal, hey, we're making money and we're sharing the wealth.
So investors are basically saying, Tesla, we love the vision, but now we need you to execute.
Yeah.
Show us the roadmap.
Yep.
Show us the profits and show us how we're going to benefit.
Precisely. They want more details about Tesla's plans for 2025 and beyond. They want to know when FSD will be ready to generate real revenue. They want to know how Tesla plans to navigate the increasingly competitive EV landscape. The questions are getting more pointed, and the stakes are getting higher.
It's like Tesla's going through a bit of an identity crisis. They're trying to balance their role as a disruptor with the demands of being a mature, profitable company.
It's a tough balancing act. And then there's the added layer of complexity that comes with Elon Musk.
Right.
His unpredictable nature, his bold pronouncements, it makes it even harder for investors to get a clear read on Tesla's future.
But isn't that part of the appeal?
Yeah.
The uncertainty, the risk, the feeling that anything is possible.
Absolutely. That's what makes Tesla so fascinating. They're constantly pushing the boundaries, and that can lead to incredible successes or spectacular failures.
Of all of that said,
yeah.
What were your biggest takeaways from the investor Q&A? What stood out to you?
Well, one question that really piqued my interest was about a potential ride-sharing app using supervised FSD.
Okay.
Remember, we talked about Tesla's goal of launching a ride-hailing service.
Yeah.
Well, imagine if they took it a step further and allowed anyone with a Tesla to participate.
Like you could send your car out to pick up passengers while you're at work.
Exactly.
That's wild.
It is wild. It's like the dream of passive income coming true. You're just sitting at your desk and your car is out there making you money.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued. But I have to ask, what about the logistics? Regulations, insurance, safety, liability. There's so many hurdles to overcome. And what about the people who are still waiting for their Cybertruck wheel caps? Are their cars going to be out there giving rides while they're stuck at home fuming?
It definitely raises a lot of questions, but that's what makes it so interesting. If Tesla can pull it off, it would be a major game changer.
No doubt about it. And then there was that question about Hardware 3.
Yep.
Their current self-driving hardware. Remember, they said FSD will be safer than human drivers by next year.
Right.
Well, an investor asked if Hardware 3 is even capable of level 5 autonomy,
Uh-huh.
which is basically fully autonomous driving. No human intervention needed.
Okay.
And what did they say?
Well, they said that if Hardware 3 proves incapable of level 5, they'll upgrade people to Hardware 4 for free.
Wow, that's a big commitment.
It is.
But it also makes you wonder,
Yeah.
are they fully confident in their current hardware?
No.
And what about the people who don't want to upgrade? Will they be left behind? It adds a whole new layer of uncertainty. Right. And let's not forget, they're doing all of this while also building robots. Remember Optimus, their humanoid robot? They actually said they believe Optimus will ultimately be the most valuable product they've ever made.
Wow.
It's hard to wrap your head around that, isn't it? But when you consider the potential applications of humanoid robots, it's not as far-fetched as it might seem. We could be looking at a future where robots are doing all sorts of jobs,
Right.
from manufacturing to healthcare to elder care.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
Okay, my mind is officially blown.
Wow.
We've covered a lot of ground here, from record profits to self-driving taxis to robots that could change the world. Tesla is definitely not lacking in ambition.
They're definitely pushing the boundaries, and that's what makes them so exciting to watch.
Right.
But with all of this ambition comes risk. Will they be able to deliver on their promises? Will they be able to navigate the challenges ahead?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Are you feeling more or less confident in Tesla after this deep dive into the investor Q&A? I'm more intrigued by Tesla.
Yeah.
After listening to those investor questions
Yeah.
than I was before.
Right.
They're walking this tightrope between being a tech disruptor
Mhm.
and a mature company, and it's fascinating to watch.
It's a delicate balance for sure.
Yeah.
They have to keep pushing the boundaries of innovation
Right.
while also proving to investors that they can be profitable and reliable.
And
It's like they're playing this high-stakes game and they have to win on multiple fronts.
they have to win with Elon Musk as their front man,
Mm,
which adds another layer of complexity.
it does.
Some investors see him as a visionary genius, others see him as a liability.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you fall on that spectrum?
I think it's impossible to deny his brilliance.
Yeah.
He's brought electric vehicles into the mainstream.
Sure,
He's
sure.
pushing the boundaries of space exploration.
Right.
And now he's aiming to revolutionize artificial intelligence with Optimus. But there's no doubt that his actions and statements can create uncertainty and volatility.
And that uncertainty is reflected in those investor questions. They want to know, can Tesla really achieve all of these ambitious goals? Can they do it with Elon Musk at the helm? It's like they're saying, we believe in the vision,
Right.
but show us the execution.
Exactly. They want concrete timelines. They want to see tangible progress on FSD and those new products. And they want to see those promises of robo-taxes and robot butlers
Yeah.
turn into reality. It's not enough to just talk the talk anymore.
Right.
They want to see Tesla walk the walk.
So where does this leave us?
Yeah.
What's the final verdict on Tesla?
Mhm.
After this deep dive, are you bullish or bearish?
You know, it's tough to say. I see a company with incredible potential,
Yeah.
a company that's changing the world.
Mm.
But I also see a company facing some very real challenges.
Yeah.
Elon Musk's unpredictability,
Right.
the delays on products like the Cybertruck, the increasing competition in the EV market. These are all factors that could derail their progress.
It's a bit of a gamble.
In a way, yes.
Ah.
Investing in Tesla is not for the faint of heart. But for those who believe in their vision,
Yeah.
for those who are willing to ride out the volatility, the potential rewards could be enormous. Think about it. If they can truly crack the code on full self-driving,
Yeah.
if they can bring those futuristic products to market,
Right.
if they can successfully navigate the transition to a more mature and profitable company, they could become one of the most valuable companies in the world.
It's a wild ride, that's for sure. I guess the only thing we can do now is sit back and see what happens.
Exactly. The next few years are going to be incredibly interesting for Tesla.
Yeah.
And I, for one, can't wait to see what they do next.
That's the perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Tesla's Q3 earnings call.
Ah,
It's been a wild ride. But that's what we love about Tesla, isn't it?
It is.
They always keep us guessing.
They certainly do, and that's what makes them such a fascinating company to follow.
Until next time, keep on ticking.